Hello and welcome to TechHub.training. This is the Tableau solution for the challenge. They see me rolling. Thanks for joining. Let's jump in. Here I've connected to my data source. They see me rolling. And I titled my tab DSO trend because we are calculating the days sales outstanding trend for 2022. We're trying to analyze why October is so high. Why did our customers pay so late in October? Well, there's been a banking crisis, customers are paying late, and we need to manage our cash. So let's build a dashboard to show our controller. Our calculation for days sales outstanding will be our invoice date minus our pay date to get the days in between that. So let's get our calculation. I'll do Alt-AC to create a calculated field. We'll call this days sales outstanding. And that'll be the date paid minus the invoice date to give us the days between those two dates. Now we're ready to build our trend line. We'll put the dates across the columns, expand out to month. We don't need quarter. And let's filter on 2022 and bring our days sales outstanding to rows. Here we have our trend line that automatically summed days sales outstanding. We want an average. And we can see that October was so high. Let's label this point to make it stand out to our controller. We'll right click, we'll annotate the point, average DSO for October is right there. So we can see our October average DSO 43.12. That means that on average for the October invoices, it took customers 43 days to pay, which is abnormally high. We also want to compare this to a rolling 3-month average. So across 3 months, January, February, March, average all of those invoices, their days sales outstanding. So let's copy this field by Control, click, and drag. We don't want it on top of each other. We want it on the same axis. So we'll do a dual axis and we will synchronize that axis because it's on the same scale. And we don't need to show the header anymore. It's showing one line because the calculations are the same. Let's change this to our 3-month moving average. So this is the average moving across the months. Let's edit this table calculation. And the default is to show us the previous two next 0, including the current value, which is exactly what we want. We want it to average across the previous 2 months and include the current month, which will give us the rolling 3-month average. So this is exactly right. We'll click out of it. We'll get rid of our header again. Not sure why that showed up. Let's break this out by color. We'll put the measure names onto color. Purple and pink. Love it. Actually, I don't love it. Let's change it to blue and orange. Amazing. Okay, we're ready to now build our DSO table. Here I'm going to just duplicate this sheet because we've already done a lot of the heavy lifting with the calculations. It's going to show basically the same data, but just in table form. So let's call this DSO table. And here we want to see the months down our rows. So we'll shift these around. We'll put our year and month onto rows. We'll bring these guys onto text. And it's showing the exact same numbers right now because in our table calculation, the original one was doing table across, so it was averaging across the columns, which were the months in that case. Now, since the months are in rows, we'll do table down. So it's going to average down the rows, previous 2, next 0, perfect. And let's break this out by column. So we'll do measure names onto columns, measure values onto text, and now we can bring these calculations into our measure values card, get rid of the ones we don't need, shift click and delete. Amazing. We have our average DSO. Let's retitle this to, we'll edit the alias to say monthly average DSO. And we'll retitle this one to say rolling 3-month average DSO. Perfect. Let's widen this a bit to give us the full column name. And we're ready to create a dashboard. We'll title this dashboard DSO dashboard. We'll bring our sheets on. Let's bring this legend. Let's make it floating. I'm going to shift click to make it from tiled to floating. We're going to have to change this name as well. Edit the alias to rolling 3-month average DSO. And it's going to have to be different from the other one. So we'll put a space in it. Monthly average DSO. Perfect. Let's get rid of our title. Don't need that. We're going to resize this once we put our title on. So let's bring text up here to the top. And we'll title this DSO dashboard. Make it look nice and pretty. Let's make the title big, about 22. Let's make it Tableau medium. I'm going to do a light gray because I'm going to put a darker gray behind it. Centered. And let's go to layout, background. I like to do this dark gray background. We'll do that. Shade. We don't need any padding. And now let's resize some things. Let's make the trend line the main focus. Let's get rid of this white space by fitting this sheet to entire view. I like the way that looks. Let's bring our legend about right there. We have our label, we have our months, and I like to make the dashboard a little bit bigger. We'll do 1250 pixels. That also makes these months laying out horizontally, which is cleaner in my opinion. Let's drag this to about right there, and I think that we are looking good. The controller is going to love our analysis. We're going to save the company, save our cash, and you've now learned some more Tableau skills, including this moving average table calculation. Thanks for joining us for this TechHub.training video solution. We will see you next time.